The Jamaican economy could start growing by 10% per year every year for the next 10 years and beyond. The government just needs to focus on three sectors of the economy, which is tourism, agriculture, and construction. Or we could say they just need to focus on the number one industry in Jamaica, which is tourism, then the other two industries will follow. Jamaica needs a massive expansion of the tourism industry by building enough mega-large hotels each year to accommodate a 20% increase in visitor numbers each year to Jamaica. This would also cause a 20% increase in the construction industry each year, as it would take the equivalent of 20 large hotels of 1,000 rooms each per year for a 20% increase in visitor numbers each year to Jamaica. Then the agricultural industry would also fall in place, as all Jamaica needs to do is to supply the tourism industry with their agricultural products that they need. No need for Jamaica to focus on exporting our agricultural produce and fighting trade wars with other countries. Just supply the hotels in Jamaica and cut the country's import bill, food bill. Go back to basics, as we have heard the current Prime Minister copied the Michael Manley philosophy of growing what we eat and eating what we grow. The current Prime Minister said, "Grow what's in our food baskets," which is obviously not to appear to be following Michael Manley's philosophy. The tourism sector not only bolsters foreign exchange earnings, but also provides about 1/4 of all jobs in Jamaica, underscoring its importance in the nation's economic framework. Overall, tourism, along with other services, accounts for approximately half of Jamaica's GDP and employment, highlighting its central role in the country's economic landscape. Agriculture plays a significant role in Jamaica's economy. In 2023, the agriculture, forestry, and fishing sectors contributed approximately 9.02% to the country's gross domestic product, or GDP. This marks an increase from previous years. For instance, in 2021, these sectors accounted for about 8.34% of GDP. In monetary terms, the value added by the agriculture, forestry, and fishing sectors to Jamaica's GDP was approximately $1.12 billion in 2023, down from $1.19 billion in 2022. Additionally, agriculture employs nearly 19% of the Jamaican population, underscoring its importance in providing livelihoods across the country. Despite challenges such as vulnerability to extreme weather events and competition from neighboring countries, agriculture remains a cornerstone of Jamaica's economic framework. Agriculture, including forestry and fishing, contributes approximately 7 to 10% to Jamaica's GDP, depending on the year. The sector also plays a significant role in employment, engaging nearly 19% of the population. It remains a vital part of Jamaica's economy, despite challenges such as climate vulnerability. The construction industry is a significant component of Jamaica's economy. Between 2003 and 2008, it accounted for an average of 8% of the country's gross domestic product, or GDP. In 1999, construction and installation activities contributed approximately 10.4% to Jamaica's GDP. In 2023, the broader industry sector, which includes construction, contributed about 18.65% to Jamaica's GDP. These figures indicate that the construction sector has consistently played a vital role in Jamaica's economic development. To estimate the annual growth of Jamaica's economy based on the growth rates of tourism, agriculture, and construction, we need to consider their respective contributions to the gross domestic product, or GDP. Here's how to calculate it. Key assumptions. First, tourism contributes around 50% of the GDP. Second, agriculture contributes about 9%. And third, construction contributes roughly 8%. These sectors are growing at 20% annually. The remaining 33% of the GDP, which comes from other industries, is assumed to remain constant. Now for the calculation, the total GDP growth rate is the weighted average of the growth rates of these sectors, based on their contribution to GDP. where the weights are the contributions to GDP of tourism, agriculture, construction, and other sectors, and the growth rates are the growth rates of these sectors. So when we substitute the values and simplify, the conclusion is, if tourism, agriculture, and construction grow by 20% annually, Jamaica's economy would grow by approximately 13.4% annually, assuming other sectors remain constant. If tourism contributes 40% of GDP instead of 50%, the weights of the other sectors remain the same. Tourism, agriculture, construction, and other sectors. Recalculate GDP growth. Substitute the values. Simplification. Conclusion. If tourism contributes 40% of GDP and grows by 20% annually, while agriculture and construction maintain the same growth and contributions, Jamaica's economy would grow by approximately 11.4% annually. One of the biggest failures of the current government is that they have no clue as to how much hotel rooms it would take to host an extra 1 million visitors in Jamaica. This is why the Prime Minister would appears to announce one thing, then backtracks the moment someone challenges his ideas. He heard something that sounds good to him at one point, then he makes a big announcement. Someone from the opposition or even his own party challenges him, then he backtracks. I know this because I've heard him announce a number of things that I have highlighted on my channel. Then he backtracks after the glamorous announcements. One such announcement was in December 2023 when he, alongside the tourism minister, said they would double the tourism industry from 4 million to 8 million visitors each year. However, since then they have reverted to their 5x5x5 growth, which is complete nonsense, as it would see Jamaica tourism growing 10 times slower than other Caribbean countries. Another such announcement was the building of the Negril Airport in Little London, which the government seems to be backtracking on. Again, I've done a 20-part series on my YouTube channel that we need an international airport to serve the 3 southwestern parishes of Jamaica. Though I was saying that an international airport needs to be in St. Elizabeth. However, the 3 southwestern parishes are Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and Manchester. Both the Minister of Tourism and the Prime Minister are clueless in regard to what it would take to grow the tourism industry. As a result of their incompetence, the tourism industry has not grown by a single visitor for the past 8 years. It is not that they are incapable of understanding the tourism industry, they just lack the focus, while they enrich themselves through greed, rather than focusing on the people who they were elected to serve needs. I'm saying the above because their personal wealth has grown magnificently since they are in government, while Jamaica's GDP has only been growing by 1% to 2% on average for the time when they are in office. This is a shameful contrast for Jamaican politicians, how their personal wealth just miraculously expanded multiple times over while the Jamaican economy remains broke. This has been the norm since Jamaica got independence. Growing Jamaica economy by 10% per year every year for the next 10 years is not difficult, it just takes dedication and focus from the government. It would appear that most of the high-level government ministers have good intentions when they get into politics. However, it would appear that as soon as they get into government and see how easy it is to become rich, then greed takes over. Thank you for watching another episode of my new series titled UK Pound 50 billion Repatriation Funds to be Invested in Jamaica, UK Pound 10 billion loans for infrastructure programs, and UK Pound 40 billion foreign direct investments to build 200 mega hotels of 1,000 rooms each in Jamaica. Please click on the subscribe button, share this video in your WhatsApp groups, and send it to all your friends, as we try to demonstrate how the tourism industry can transform lives in Jamaica. Remember to let us know what you think about this video by leaving your comments below. Please keep your comments respectful. God bless you. God bless the Jamaican Parliament, and God bless Jamaica. Until my next video, peace and love. This is part 9 of my current series. Look out for part 10.